You know that moment when your alarm goes off at 6 a.m. and you hit snooze, and then again, and then again, and suddenly it's 7:32, you're late, you skip breakfast, you grab a $6 coffee, you order lunch because you didn't have time to pack it, and you tell yourself you'll start your side hustle tomorrow. That's not just a rough morning. That's a $20 to $40 decision every single weekday. That's $100 to $200 a week. That's $5,000 to $10,000 a year in small, exhausted, half-conscious choices. And here's the thing. Most people think waking up early is about discipline. It's not. It's about biology, incentives, and friction. My name is Oliver, and I spend way too much time thinking about the psychology and math behind everyday financial decisions. If you're someone who keeps saying you'll wake up earlier, build better habits, save more money, and get your life together, but somehow your alarm keeps winning, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Look, this is not going to be some 5 a.m. millionaire routine nonsense. We're going to talk about why your brain fights waking up, the actual science of sleep cycles, the economic cost of hitting snooze, and the practical science-backed hacks that make getting out of bed easier without turning you into a productivity robot. Because here's what most people don't realize: waking up is a financial decision. Here's the common assumption: if I were more motivated, I'd wake up earlier. Wrong. According to the National Sleep Foundation, adults need 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. Meanwhile, the CDC reports that roughly 1/3 of adults in the U.S. are chronically sleep deprived. So, statistically speaking, if you struggle to wake up, you're not lazy, you're tired. And being tired isn't a character flaw, it's biology. When your alarm goes off, your brain is flooded with melatonin, sleep hormone, adenosine, sleep pressure, and low cortisol, alertness hormone. You're fighting chemistry. That's like blaming yourself for being wet while standing in the rain. Now let's talk money. Let's say waking up 30 minutes earlier allows you to prep breakfast at home instead of buying it, save $5, pack lunch instead of ordering, save $10, work on a side hustle for 20 minutes a day. Even if that side hustle earns just $200 a month eventually, that's $2,400 a year. So the difference between snoozing and not snoozing could be realistically $3,000 to $5,000 per year in direct and indirect impact. Over 10 years at a 7% return, that's over $40,000 from 30 minutes. This is where it gets really interesting. You're not just choosing between sleep and productivity, you're choosing between two financial identities. Here's what most people don't realize. When your alarm rings, your brain is operating in present bias. Present bias means you heavily prioritize immediate comfort over future benefit. Economists have studied this extensively. Immediate rewards activate the brain's dopamine system far more strongly than delayed rewards. The bed is immediate comfort. Financial stability is abstract and delayed. Your brain chooses the blanket. Not because you're weak, but because evolution didn't design you for compound interest. Hack number 1. Reduce friction, don't increase motivation. Look, motivation is unreliable. Friction is predictable. Behavioral economists talk about choice architecture. The easier something is, the more likely you are to do it. So instead of trying to want it more, make snoozing harder. Action steps. 1. Put your alarm across the room. 2. Use a lamp timer to turn on bright light at wake-up time. 3. Set your coffee maker on a timer. Light suppresses melatonin. That's biological, not motivational. Within minutes of bright light exposure, your brain begins switching into alert mode. You're not forcing discipline, you're manipulating environment. Big difference. Hack number 2. Align sleep cycles. This changes everything. Sleep cycles last roughly 90 minutes. Waking up mid-cycle makes you feel like you got hit by a truck. Use simple math. If you need 7.5 hours of sleep, 5 cycles, and you wake up at 6 a.m., you should be asleep by 10:30. Not in bed, asleep. Now you might be thinking, okay, Oliver, but I can't fall asleep that early. Exactly, which means your night routine is broken, not your morning. The $1,000 evening mistake. Blue light from phones suppresses melatonin. Studies from institutions like Harvard Medical School have shown that blue light exposure can delay sleep onset significantly. If you scroll TikTok or YouTube in bed for an hour, you are delaying sleep, reducing REM quality, and making the next morning harder. And here's the financial angle. Poor sleep reduces cognitive performance by up to 20 to 30%. Lower cognitive performance leads to worse decisions, more impulsive spending, and lower productivity. That's not motivational fluff. That's measurable. Sleep debt is decision debt. Hack number 3, the 5-second rule, but with a twist. You've probably heard the count down from 5 and move trick. It works because it interrupts rumination. But here's the twist. Before you sleep, decide exactly what you will do when the alarm rings. Example, alarm rings, I stand up immediately, I walk to the bathroom, I splash water. Pre-decisions reduce mental load. The brain loves scripts. If there's no script, it defaults to comfort. Hack number 4, financial incentive contracts. Here's where we combine psychology and money. Create a loss-based incentive. Example,
you give a trusted friend $200. If you fail to get up on time 5 days in a week, they keep $40. Why does this work? Loss aversion. Behavioral research shows people feel losses about twice as strongly as gains. You don't want to lose $40. Suddenly, snoozing feels expensive because it is. Hack number 5, make mornings rewarding immediately. Here's what most people get wrong. They attach long-term rewards to morning behavior, but the brain wants immediate payoff. So build a morning reward stack. Examples? Only listen to your favorite podcast while walking in the morning. Only drink premium coffee after waking on time. Only check something enjoyable once you're up. Immediate dopamine. Now the bed is competing with something tangible. That changes the equation. The identity shift. This is where it gets really interesting. Most people say, I want to wake up early. That's outcome-based thinking. Instead, shift to, I am someone who gets up when my alarm rings. Identity-based habits are more durable. When your identity shifts, behavior follows. And identity shifts through evidence. 3 consecutive mornings. Then 5, then 10. Momentum builds. A simple 7-day reset plan. If I had to design a clean, actionable reset, it would look like this. Day 1-2, track actual sleep time. No changes yet. Observe. Day 3-4, set fixed wake time. Move alarm across room. Add light exposure.
Day 5 through 6, remove screens 60 minutes before bed. Pre-plan first action after alarm. Day 7, evaluate. Adjust bedtime by 15-30 minutes if needed. No extreme changes. No 5 a.m. nonsense. Stability beats intensity. The compound effect of mornings. Let's do conservative math. If waking earlier allows you to exercise 20 minutes per day, improve energy, increase productivity by even 5%, and you earn $50,000 per year, a 5% productivity increase over time could translate into raises, promotions, skill development. Even a $5,000 salary increase compounded over 20 years at 7%, over $200,000 from sleep optimization? That's not exaggeration, that's math. Addressing the big objection. Oliver, I'm just not a morning person. Chronotypes are real. Some people are naturally nightly, but here's the nuance. Most people who think they're night owls are actually screen owls. Artificial light shifts circadian rhythms. If you removed late night screens for 2 weeks, your rhythm would likely shift earlier, not to 5 a.m., but earlier, enough to make mornings tolerable. The hard truth. Look, if you're consistently getting 5 hours of sleep and trying to hack mornings, you're sabotaging yourself. The solution isn't grit, it's earlier sleep. And that might mean fewer Netflix episodes, less scrolling, saying no to late night distractions. Financial discipline and sleep discipline overlap. Both require short-term sacrifice for long-term stability. Why this actually matters. This isn't about hustle culture. It's about control. When you wake up on time, you start the day with a win, and wins compound. Missed alarms create chaos. Chaos creates spending. Spending creates stress. Stress ruins sleep, and the cycle continues. Break the cycle at the first decision, the alarm, final motivation. Here's what most people don't realize. Your mornings are leverage. Not because they're magical, but because they set direction. You don't need to wake up at 5 a.m. You need consistency. You need alignment between biology and behavior. You need systems,
not self-hate. So tonight, set a realistic bedtime. Move your alarm. Decide your first action. Remove one source of friction. And tomorrow morning, when that alarm rings, stand up. No negotiation. Because every time you win that battle, you're not just waking up earlier. You're becoming someone who keeps promises to themselves. And financially, that's the kind of person who builds wealth. If this helped you see mornings differently, not as a discipline issue, but as a system design problem, hit subscribe. Because we talk about the math and psychology behind everyday money decisions, and how small shifts create massive financial outcomes over time. Fix your sleep, fix your mornings, fix your money.